Here we go! Two of our experts are about to do battle in a debate over the latest in sports. This is Butting Heads. Today we have Rich Davis of SiriusXM Radio going head-to-head again with Ross the Boss, picking NFL games for Week 16. See who won last week's matchups and check out their picks for this week. If you're new to our channel, click subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Put your comments below. Are you Team Ross or Team Rich? Okay, guys, so it is time to check in about how you guys did last week. Recently, Rich has been on quite a tear, Ross. You're in some trouble here. So we had Seattle at Washington. We all agreed Washington would win, and Washington did prevent Seattle from covering the spread, so we actually did technically win that. Philadelphia at Arizona. Arizona by 6. We all agreed it was Philadelphia. We all lost that. Now, I shouldn't even be interjecting myself. This is Ross versus Rich. New England and Miami. Miami favored by 2. You guys agreed New England, and I actually said Miami, and I got that one right. I keep interjecting myself. I can't help it. Cleveland at the Giants. Rich was right. They covered. You're the man. I love that you called that. Chicago at Minnesota. Here's where Rich really brought down the hammer. You know, you dared him. You dared him to do it, and he was like, I'll do it. I'm that crazy. And Chicago not only kept Minnesota from covering the spread, they won the game. And Kansas City at New Orleans was a push for everybody. So, Rich, you came out on top. I'm going to give you each 30 seconds to talk about those games. Anything you want to say, you don't have to take the 30 seconds. Ross, let's start with you.
I had a horrible week. That's it. I will pick it up this week. Watch and see.
I like it this way. Baker Mayfield is getting scary. He's getting scary. That's all I'll say. The Chiefs look like they're a team that, listen, they're 21-1 in their last 22 games. It looks like no one can beat them, but Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, there's some AFC teams that I'm excited to see how they do in the playoffs. But I think overall, I feel comfortable with last week's picks. I feel like the one big miss was thinking that because Belichick's a genius, they'd win, but Miami's a better team.
All right. Now we're on to the new games. Hopefully Baker Mayfield will continue to go supernova. The Jets usually will help with that sort of thing. We don't have the Browns in the game in this Ross versus Rich matchup. Our first one is Carolina at the Washington football team. They have surprised all year. Ron Rivera has done a great job with them, clearly. Washington is favored by 1.5 points. So this is a razor-thin margin. Rich, I'm going to let you go first.
Listen, Dwayne Haskins, that guy is focused. He got boobs in his face. He's at strip clubs. He's getting caught with his mask off. That team is focused on and off the field. Whether it's him or Alex Smith, or this team is just a better team. Ron Rivera is a great coach. That team is going to end up 8-8. Like, I would never have guessed that there'd be a 500 team in that division, but they could very easily win their final 2. I think Washington wins the division at 8-8. I think Carolina is just a stepping stone to that. So I think Ron Rivera, that team is solid. Their defense holds up. I like Washington. I think they're fun to watch, actually.
All right, Ross. It's your time to shine. Can you hang with Rich?
The team of Washington, if they win 2 in a row, they are division champions. They go to the playoffs. They really do, which is unbelievable. They're playing great. Their defense is one of the top defenses in the league. Their defense keeps them in every game. I know they lost last week by 5. They chances to win. Hail Mary at the end. They could have won the game, actually. I'm taking the team of Washington. Carolina's just phoning it in for the last 2 games. They're a bad team. Horrible team on paper. Their defense is bad. Bridgewater doesn't look good. I am taking Washington. I agree with Rich. As much as I want to disagree with them, I got to take Washington.
All right, we'll find things to disagree about. Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. If Pittsburgh loses this game and then they lose to the Browns, guess who wins that division? Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns. And Ross, you did make the call that the Steelers were the worst 11-0 team in history, and I'm giving you credit for it. So this time, we're going to start with Ross. Indianapolis at Pittsburgh. The Steelers are favored by 2.
This is a huge bounce game for Pittsburgh. They lost embarrassingly to the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes. And that was an embarrassment to I don't know how, it's almost as bad as the Rams and Jets
to the
game.
nation.
I don't know how they lost. It's unbelievable. But that being said, I like the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Roethlisberger's going to bounce back. He's going to have a big game against Indy. I like Pittsburgh. I have a feeling they're going to bounce back and win that game. That's Ross the Boss.
All right, Rich.
No, dude, you're so wrong. And by the way, that's not my stomach growling. My dog is just snoring.
Oh, cute.
All right, so sorry, get out of here.
That's a cute dog.
let me tell you. Steelers, I love this storyline. I'll tell you why. There's never going to be, again, in NFL history, there's always a new record being broken. No one's done it, and no one will ever do it again. No one will ever go 11-0 and then end the season 0-5. And that's going to happen to this Pittsburgh Steelers team. They are so lost. They are so not composed. Big Ben Roethlisberger has been exposed. He throws the ball 50, 60 times a game. They sat James Conner thinking that, hey, listen, we just need to beat the Bengals and we'll be fine. They are in big-time trouble. I mean, only the 1 seed gets a bye. I get it, but you are stumbling into the playoffs if you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I think Cleveland wins the division. I really do. I think this is an ultimate collapse. It's like my New York Mets in baseball. They've had some great collapses. This is epic. I love it because Steeler fans were like 11-0, and the boss was right. The worst 11-0 team ever.
And they're showing it. Good. All right, I like this. We got a disagreement. We'll see what happens. The Rams at Seattle is a very tough game to pick. The Seahawks are favored by 1.5. Rich, I'm going to give you the chance to go first. You can defer if you would like.
Now, this game's in Seattle, correct?
In Seattle.
This is in Seattle.
Now,
no 12 man.
Typically, traditionally, when it's not, pandemic, apocalyptic times, you'd say, oh, yeah, what an advantage. Week 16 of the NFL in Seattle, 12th man. No 12th man, but still, you could say coming off of that demoralizing loss versus the Jets, the Rams are going to be fired up. I think that's in their head now. I think it's like, yo, did we just lose to the Jets? Seattle, Russell Wilson just wins this game. It's their division. Yeah, the Rams are a solid wild card team, and that's what I thought they'd be at the beginning of the year. Probably a 10-6, 9-7 wild card team. Seattle, it's their division to clinch this week.
Okay, before I even ask Ross, Rich, will you ask our audience if they agree with you on this and to put it in the comments? We want to hear from them.
Oh, yeah. This is Russell Wilson's time to show I own the NFC West. If you disagree, leave your comment below and tell me why you're a moron, because quite frankly, I'm right. It's Russell Wilson's division. I'm a Niners fan saying this. That hurts my heart. But the Rams ain't that good.
I love it. All right, Ross, your rebuttal? Or
the last
do you
time
agree?
the Rams played Seattle had 4 turnovers, 3 interceptions by Wilson, 4 sacks. The Rams were all over him. They destroyed him in Los Angeles. Now they're in Seattle. No 12th man. They'll be silenced. The Rams can audible, which means if they don't like a setup on the Seattle's defense, which isn't that good, they're not a good defense, Rich. You know I'm right. The Rams defense is top 5. They can audible, which means they can change the play. And I feel the Rams will win 26-21. That's my prediction. Rams.
All right.
So you're saying, Ross, that Aaron Donald and those guys are going to be all over Russell Wilson the way you're over Christmas cookies and Hanukkah treats?
Yes, sir. I feel that the Rams defense will keep him in the game, and the Rams running game will just eke it out at the end, and the Rams will win by about 5-6 points.
So before we get to the last 2 games, I need to ask you, should I start the Rams in fantasy football in my championship against the Seahawks, or should I take Buffalo against New England? That's another game we have coming up. Who would you go with? Oh, stunned silence. You guys.
I think Buffalo is cruising into the playoffs. I think that team. Listen, I hate using cliches like statement game, this, that. They need to win more, but Buffalo won a division that no one else had won since we had flip phones. Like the last time someone else won that division, other than
True.
The Patriots. We wore boot-cut jeans. I think Ross still wears boot-cut jeans. But it's the Buffalo Bills are saying, hey, we're here to stay. I think Josh Allen destroys them. So I think there's turnovers by Cam Newton. Buffalo's defense may get you some points.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, I'm going that way. So we're going now Tennessee at Green Bay. The Packers are favored by 4.5. Ross, you get to start.
Tennessee at Green Bay. I love this guy. I can't wait to watch this game. It's like Derrick Henry versus Aaron Rodgers. It's going to be a classic. I feel that last week Aaron Rodgers was just okay. He had 1 touchdown pass, 100-something yards. I'm not saying he was bad. I'm saying he was okay. They won the game. That's why he's okay. They're in Green Bay. It's going to be colder. It's not the frozen tundra of Green Bay yet, but it's getting close. I feel Derrick Henry's going to do great, but he's not going to keep them in the game. I think the passing game for Green Bay is just too strong. I feel that they'll be throwing the ball like crazy against that horrible Tennessee defense. Horrible. They're horrible. I like Green Bay. I like them actually by like 10, 12 points, and the game will go way over. If you have any extra money, bet the over on that game. I'm taking Green Bay. I love Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to disagree more for the fun of it. I mean, I could see Green Bay winning by double digits, but Green Bay has historically, meaning this year, confused me. I think they're going to blow out a team. It's close. I think it's going to be close. They blow out a team. Green Bay's still confusing. Aaron Rodgers is an MVP candidate. He's going to try to prove the case that he's the guy this year. Is it him or Mahomes? Look at it this way, Russ, the boss. This game could absolutely be a 10-point game with a few minutes left and some backdoor touchdown like Tannehill to the tight end, and you win by a field goal. The game appears closer than it really is. I just can't see. I think that 4.5, it seems like not a lot, but I'm going to go Tennessee to cover in a game that appears closer than it really is.
He likes the points. Okay, nice call. We got Bills at New England. This is the game where officially the Bills will be fully crowned. I guess they are already, but the Bills are favored by 7. Bill Belichick has to not like that, but I'm not sure there's much he can do about it. Rich, you get to decide if you want to start. You can defer or you can take it first.
Oh, much like Belichick, I will defer to Ross. Go ahead.
So,
all right.
I never thought I would say this coming out of my mouth, but the New England Patriots are just playing for nothing. I mean, they have no motivation. They have nothing to prove. I don't think Belichick can even get these guys motivated. They looked horrible last week. Newton has no idea where he's at. Buffalo, as we watched, they're gonna clinch like number 2 in the AFC after this win against the Patriots. The Patriots are not going to have a winning record this year. It's over. The dynasty's over. Everything's done. And that all being said, I love Buffalo. I think they'll win by like double digits. It's going to be an ugly game, and that's Ross the boss. I have nothing else to say.
Yeah,
Rich, did you catch? Go ahead.
Did I catch him? Did I catch him talking about himself in third person 5 times? Yes. What else?
Well, he said he didn't think that he would ever say this coming out of his mouth, which made me wonder where he thought he was going to say something from. I don't know.
Yes.
Go ahead. I turn it over to you.
I'm going to agree with the boss on this one. Buffalo's a superior team. Ross likes remember Russ was saying he likes the over in the other game. Might I suggest, if you're not just picking games with your buddies, if you're actually gambling, buy the half a point. If you could get that at 6.5 and a touchdown wins, I like that a lot better. The 7, the push, I don't know. I like trying to pull that under a touchdown. If you could pull it under a touchdown in a teaser bet or buy a half a point or something, Buffalo wins the game. 7 I hate, but I'd still take it.
Okay, so now we're going to turn it over to our audience. We're going to find out who's Team Ross, who's Team Rich. Maybe there'll be something in between, but Rich has been bringing the heat lately. Ross the boss. We'll see if you came back this week. Thank you for joining us, Rich. We'll see how your picks turn out.
Lying with a blanket over my head, she asked if she could see who was under the blanket with me. I said, you don't want to find. It is Hideki Matsui.